Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Danger Zone podcast, episode 2. And with me today, as with the previous episode, from the Freeform Rock podcast, Mr. Mark Allen Taylor and Lee Gertzman. How you guys doing?
I'm doing
I'm
just
doing
lovely.
right.
Like like Mike Murr says from Suicidal Tendencies, lovely, la 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 la, lovely.
And I say, I lovely, I lovely.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
All right, well, today we are going to be discussing the debut full-length studio album by the group Whitesnake. And I'm talking about their first album, Trouble. We're also going to talk about the EP Snakebite in there as well, but it's going to be kind of tagged on to the end of the actual review of the album. But this album was recorded in London, England at Central Recorder Studio during the summer of 1978, produced by Martin Birch, and according to what I'm reading here, it was recorded and mixed all in 10 days. So, pretty fast recording session. The album's title is said by Coverdale to be called Trouble because his first child was born during the album's recording. And, well, he says that's one of the reasons that it was called Trouble. And this is also the first Whitesnake album to feature John Lord on keyboards. And of course, John Lord was previously in Deep Purple. He has since passed away, rest in peace, an amazing keyboardist, one of the best in the music business. And the other people in the lineup, I mean, John Lord replaced the first keyboardist, Peter Solly or Soley. I do know he was a session musician. He played on Clapton's Money and Cigarettes album. But you've got John Lord on keyboards here, Mickey Moody on guitar, Bernie Marsden on guitar and vocals, Neil Murray on bass guitar, and a drummer by the name of Dave Duckdial on drums. A very much heavier drummer than Ian Pace, who would replace him in 1979. And he does some really great drumming on this album. But you've also got, of course, David Coverdale on lead vocals. But where did you guys first discover Whitesnake at? And how and where did you discover, and when did you discover Whitesnake? Mark?
Me?
Yeah.
I discovered them on the Whitesnake album, with all the hits and shit. Then I went back and listened to Slide It In, but I never went back far enough to listen to Trouble. Even though I do have it on my iTunes, I haven't really heard it till you asked me to review it.
Okay. What about you, Lee? Where did you discover Whitesnake at, and where,
Um,
when?
I would read like different magazines or different things, and I knew about the group, and I saw some of their albums, and I hadn't heard them back then. I was like, this is a group that's cool, but I haven't really heard their work. And then later, I finally heard some of their stuff because they showed it on MTV. And so I heard Slow and Easy, which was a cool song. And then I heard some other stuff. And then later on, they did some other stuff that I wasn't as liking. But I had first heard of Whitesnake because I had heard about how they used different people who were in different groups. And so I thought it was really interesting. It was kind of like I thought that Whitesnake was sort of like as if they were trying to be a different version of Led Zeppelin, maybe, as far as just their attitude, as far as their English sensibility and their sound. But yeah, I had first heard of Whitesnake some years before I actually heard any of their work.
Okay, and I do agree. There's a lot of Led Zeppelin and a lot of Whitesnake stuff. As for me, I discovered Whitesnake through the 1987 record. That's the album, and to this day, I mean, I hold that album near and dear to my heart. I still love 1987. A lot of people say that's Whitesnake selling out. I've always really liked the 87 record, but I also like Slip of the Tongue. I thought Slip of the Tongue, it was trying to be 87. It was trying to catch lightning in a bottle all over again. I think it failed, but I do enjoy that album. I think Steve Vai did very good on that album. But after listening that, somewhere it was either in between those two albums or after I heard their second album, the one after this, Love Hunter. And then I started going back, and I can't remember if it was Ready and Willing, which is an album, the first album with Ian Pace on drums, or the live album, Live in the Heart of the City, whichever one it was. That got me into this era of Whitesnake, and by far, this is my favorite era. I think this is the Whitesnake sound, and I love that Coverdale has went back to that sound some with the modern day lineup. I think there's a lot of kind of, trying to think of the word here, a lot of elements from this era in the newer version of the band. They basically took this era and the 87 and Slip of the Tongue era and kind of put it in a blender, and that's what you get is the newer era stuff, and I love it. I love the new stuff. I haven't heard Flesh and Blood, but I've heard the other albums that they've done, and I love Forevermore and Good to Be Bad. Both of those are very, very good albums. But this album was actually one of my final albums to hear from the original lineup, and I like this album. I like this album a lot. And if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and get into this album.
Go for it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, the first track on the album is Take Me With You. This track I heard first on the Live in the Heart of the City album from 1980, which is it was a double album with a show from 78 and a show from 1980 at Hammersmith Odeon. I think the track goes over a lot better live. It reminds me, it's kind of to me a cross between Deep Purple's Burn and Allman Brothers' One Way Out. It kind of reminds me, it's kind of to me kind of a cross between those two songs. And I've also, if I'm not bad wrong, I read that Bernie Marsden said that a lot of the influence during this time was the Allman Brothers. And I don't know if he meant with the dual guitars or what it was. But I've always really enjoyed this song. They actually brought it back in the early 2000s when they first reunited with the newer lineup with Doug Aldrich and Red Beach. And I think it went over really well then. And I love this song. I think it's a great song. And like I said, I like the live version better. But now you take it, Mark.
Yeah, love the bass. It's pumping. Seems like the song is going faster than David's vocals, though. But it's still a good song. It's a little punkish. I like the killer break with the jungle drums. Then the punk guitar comes back in. Love it. Sounds like a punk song to me. It doesn't sound like a blues song. It sounds like it's like a punk guitar, like a Sex Pistols or Suicidal Tendencies. And David's voice is going a lot slower than the rhythm of the guitar. It's weird, but it works.
Yeah. Now, you take it, Lee.
Yeah. Well, when you mentioned the Allman Brothers and the other stuff, as far as how it sounded to you, I thought, wow, that's very insightful. You had some interesting stuff to say that I thought, wow, you got it on point. But I love this. It sounds a little bit like Led Zeppelin, but the vocal phrasing is a lot like the Rolling Stones version of Not Fade Away, the Buddy Holly song. This is one of the best songs on the album.
Okay. And I do want to also add, before we go to the next track, the I think that they actually took like the middle section of with the jungle drums and stuff, and that's the way they started it in the mid 2000s, well, the early 2000s, and they started it out with that, and then went into the song. But live, they do a lot more guitar oriented stuff. They give like the keyboards their little chance to shine. Then both guitar players they'll take a solo and stuff, and it goes over very good live as well. And if you've never heard the Live in the Heart of the City album, definitely go listen to that. I believe it's on YouTube in its entirety, actually. I mean, if you want to hear it, go check it out. And if you like it, go buy it. And even if you don't listen to it, go buy it anyway. But just overall, to me, a very, very good track, a great opener. And then we move to the next track, Love to Keep You Warm. You take this one first, Mark.
I think it's a cool rocker. Love the solo, and the bass is ruling on this album so far. Oh, and David's voice is on top of his game. Great song, man.
All right. This is very much, I could picture this being on Stormbringer. This gives me a Stormbringer vibe to it. Not the track Stormbringer, but the way a lot of the songs on that album, it could have either been on there or Come Taste the Band by Deep Purple.
Great album.
But to me, this, oh yeah, definitely. But this is quintessential Whitesnake to me. It's got that funky groove. It's got the kind of quintessential Whitesnake groove to me of the early era. But I love it. I think it's a great, great track. And that's all I pretty much have to say about it. Now you take it, Lee.
Well, this song is okay, but not great. It's filler. I don't hate it, but it doesn't really do anything for me.
Okay. All right. Some very short opinions on this.
Well, it's the first time I heard it, so
yeah.
Well, this song doesn't need a long opinion.
I understand.
Yeah, he's trying to stretch out the show, Lee. So go a little bit longer. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I would denounce what you say about it. Say that you don't have good musical taste and that you like everything, and that if you want me to make the show a lot longer, I can berate you all day. But
okay. Bon Jovi.
Hey, shut up!
Or Alice in Chains Dirt.
Ah, you bugger!
But then we move to the next track. Unless you guys have anything else to say about this one.
No, I like the song. I don't really
want to burp.
I don't think it's filler. I think it's a great rocker, man.
Well, that's because you like everything.
I don't like everything.
Well, you like everything that I don't want you to like.
I hate Britney Spears.
Well, you don't like her, or you don't like her music.
I don't like her music, but she's hot. But that's about it.
Yeah, okay. I kind of like one of her songs. Sorry.
Was it Oops, I Did It Again?
I actually do like it. I'm sorry, but I do.
Of course you would. All right.
Oh,
but,
wow.
But I'm not. I didn't buy her album. I won't.
I'll never buy her album. I'll steal it. Just for the album cover.
Right on, buddy. That's
episode.
That's the Berkeley, California way to go.
That's gonna be the next episode. We're gonna break down the Britney Spears discography one album.
Why don't we just have Lee and Mark shit on each other's opinions? And the what's the name for the guy who hosts it? Like the ring master is Devin.
Today we're talking about why Bon Jovi sucks and why I like Bon Jovi.
Well, as long as you know that they suck.
Oh, that's on your side. That's point.
No, as long as you know that they suck, it doesn't matter whether you like them or not.
Lee, you're an ignorant bitch. No, I'm joking.
Hey. Okay. I actually kind of got a little hot listening to that. Thank you.
All right.
I like being at least an ignorant bitch. That makes me want to wear the pink underwear. Oops, sorry.
TMI.
Ah,
All right. Well,
TMI. George, much information. Never mind.
all right. Well, let's continue on here to the third track on the album, "Lie Down," a modern love song. Lee, you take this one first.
This is quite a strange song for a band like Whitesnake. It sounds more like something from the Partridge Family on a television special, but in an odd sort of way, I actually like it.
Okay. All right. I like this song too. It's one that Coverdale in the early years kind of tried to jam down people's throats live because it's on Live in the Heart of the City album. I like it. It's a fun track, but as far as singles go, because I believe this was the actual first single off this album. Let me look. Yeah, it was the first single off the album. I probably
That
wouldn't have released it as a single, but even Bernie Marsden, it was either Bernie Marsden or Mickey Moody. I saw they even said that in the early years they only really the crowd they drew were mostly guys, so they were trying to play this song in a basically a crowd full of guys pumping their fists and they're playing a love song pretty much. So that's kind of funny. But "Lie Down," a modern love song. I've always really liked it. Of course, it's another one I heard on the Live in the Heart of the City album first. Goes over well live, and that's pretty much all I have for this particular track. So you take it next, Mark.
I think it's cool opening riff, piano, organ, love it. A little bit of boogie woogie here, kind of like the Allman Brothers, like you were talking about. With it's like old, it's a toe tapper, old style, like 70s solo, which kicks ass. Because when you get in the 80s, they're just like shredding in Whitesnake. They're not really like going for normal solos. It's just like, how fast can you play this, John Sykes? Well, this is a great song. I like it.
Okay. And I will say this song reminds me actually of another song that come out, and they did do this a lot on each album. They would put like a boogie woogie kind of number. Like the next album, they put a track called "You and Me," and then the next one's called "Black and Blue." Then you have on "Come and Get It," "Wine, Women, and Song," and then I'm trying to think of what the one is on "Saints and Sinners." Then after that, it ends. It's pretty much Slide It In's got this tracks it has like "Slow and Easy" and stuff like, and "Love Ain't No Stranger," and of course then you get "Is This Love" and "Here I Go Again" on 1987. But I digress from that. Overall, "Lie Down," a modern love song. I enjoy it. It's a fun track, but I definitely probably wouldn't have released this one as a single. I may have released "Take Me With You" or something as a single, as the first single, and then released this. But this actual album really didn't make a dent in the United States. It was one of those UK albums, and that was for a while where Whitesnake was the most popular at, was in the UK. It says it reached number 50 on the UK albums chart. So
yeah.
the band was really popular in the UK at this time, and a lot of people coined it, the Snakebite album, through the UK version of Slide It In. They coined that as the British years. So whatever. I mean, I'm kind of rambling on here, but
Yeah.
then we move to the fourth track, "Day Tripper," a cover of the classic Beatles track. I've always really liked it. They just basically they slow the song down and they put this kind of funky groove in it, make it kind of more bluesy. I've always liked it. Maybe kind of filler on the album, but still I like the track. I think it's a pretty cool version of the song. And there's actually a video out there on YouTube made for this particular song. And I mean, it's just basically the band performing the song pretty much, if I'm not bad wrong. But I mean, I like it. It's kind of filler to me, but still, I enjoy the track. So, what about you, Mark? What's your thoughts on this?
I love the way they did this Beatles cover. Like you said, they slowed it down. They gave it some soul that the Beatles didn't have in this song. It was more of a rocker for the Beatles, but I still love the Beatles version better. But they made it their own, and the bass again, man, the bass player on this album really cooks. And they used the talk box, freaking cool. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a thing actually that they kind of tried to make kind of a signature part of their sound. But really and truly, they didn't use a whole lot of talk box. I think this track and Hit and Run were the only two prominent songs that they used a talk box on, actually. But I digress from that.
And if you guys don't know what a talk box is, it's like what Bon Jovi used and Peter Frampton used on some songs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of them used it well.
Peter Frampton?
Yes.
Okay.
Richie Sambora.
No shit. I almost thought of the Little Feat keyboard player Richie. No, the drummer Richie Hayward. So I almost said yeah to him. Fuck.
Good drummer. He played with Clapton for a few years.
Right on. You know your shit, Devin. Do you want to be a co-host and let's eliminate Mr. Mark?
I'll just record it and put it out.
And give fart noises once in a while.
All right.
But Lee, you take this track, the cover of Day.
Oh, I actually kind of like this better than the original by the Beatles. The beat is cool and has more of a real rock edge here. I dig it.
Okay. Then we move to the last track on side one, Nighthawk Vampire Blues in parentheses, or whatever. Nighthawk in parentheses Vampire Blues. This to me is where the album really kicks off. I love that opening kind of groove that it starts out kind of with drums. I love that. I think that's awesome. By far one of my favorite tracks on this particular album. And I don't believe this was ever actually performed live ever, but it would have probably went over really well live. But I mean, Dave Duckdial, a monster friggin' drummer on this album. I think he's a very, very good drummer. But that's all I pretty much have to say. A great track. And now you take it, Lee.
Oh, this is great. It's a fast, cool song, and the guitar work is great on here. This is the type of stuff I like by Whitesnake. This, and not their later stuff. But this. Okay. You have to listen to this stuff, people. Okay.
Mark, you take it now.
This is totally Deep Purple here. This rules. Love the riffs. And John Lord organ on this song rules. Has everything in it. And a mini jam in the middle rules. This song rules. I like it a lot.
All right. And then we move to side two with the sixth track, or side two, track one, whatever. The Time Is Right for Love, another one I could very much see being on Stormbringer or Come Taste the Band. I've always really liked this song. I actually heard this track first on an album, I believe it was called Live in Hell. It was Mick Moody and Bernie Marsden together. They done an unplugged set. They actually done 2 albums as the Moody Marsden Band in the early 90s. One was called, it was something, Never Turn Your Back on the Blues, or Never Turn Our Backs on the Blues, or something like that. And it was basically a live show of blues covers, some old Whitesnake stuff. It was like they included like the Stiller on there. I believe that was Free or the Bad Company, one of them.
Oh, okay.
And then there was some new tracks on there as well. But they done an unplugged show as well, and this is where I first heard this song. I've always really liked this track. I think it's a great, great song, and just classic Whitesnake to me. Classic Whitesnake, and like I said, kind of very much Deep Purple sounding. But now to you, Mark. What's your thoughts?
More purplish here. Love the bass again. Man, this man can play. Neil Murray is really good.
Oh
And
yeah,
the guitarists go with the flow of this song. Also kick ass. I like this song a lot. It's really cool.
oh yeah. And Neil Murray, I mean, he's one of those bassists that's played with everybody. He was in Sabbath during the Tony Martin era. He he played with, I want to say he played with Gary Moore for a while, if I'm not bad wrong. I mean, he's played with all kinds of people, but I mean, he's one heck of a bass player, that's for sure. But now, Lee, you take this track. The Time Is Right for Love.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear a Deep Purple-ish vibe. Doesn't mean it's bad. This is one of the better songs on the album. I like the beat and I like the melody. It's a little bit different than most of the other songs. It has kind of a little bit more of a, I'm not going to say the song is more pop-ish, but I'm going to say the beat has a more upbeat, pop-ish kind of beat to it, but in a way that I really, really like. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we move to the seventh track on the album, the title track, Trouble. Another song that I heard first on the Live in the Heart of the City live album. Man, I've been going on and on about that live album. Like I said earlier, go check that album out if you haven't. It's a great live album. One of my top live albums of all time. But Trouble, another one I think goes over better live. But still, with that said, I love the studio version. I think it's a great, great song. And, I mean, pretty much, I mean, very bluesy. I mean, just overall a great, great song, and another one that's quintessential Whitesnake to me. But with that said, Lee, you take this track.
Yeah. Well, you've been mentioning first these live versions, and I'm thinking you're either going to be right on, or I'm going to listen to these live versions and I'm going to be very, very upset. But I mean, I don't want to say that because I haven't heard the live version. I'm going to say what I think about this version of the song. I like this song. It sounds like a Paul Rogers tune from Bad Company. It's one of the better songs on the album.
Okay. And oddly enough, actually, speaking of Paul Rogers, he was actually he was going to be in Deep Purple, but he instead formed Bad Company. So they then found Coverdale because Richie Blackmore wanted someone who had a very similar vocal style to Paul Rogers, and basically pretty well from what Richie Blackmore said in that documentary, the Richie Blackmore story. He said that Ian Gillan told him, he said, "I'll do whatever you want me to do." He said, and Richie basically told him, he said, "You can't do that. You can't be the singer I want." So basically, Richie Blackmore and Ian Gillan and Roger Glover were out. And that's pretty much the reason Glenn Hughes joined the band, is because he thought he was going to be singing along with Paul Rogers. But Paul Rogers bowed out because he was forming
I
band.
heard about that.
And so David Coverdale was then in. And
wow,
look where that got David Coverdale. And I mean, overall,
they did some great stuff with them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Burn. I like all three of them. I like Come Taste the Band. I thought Come Taste the Band was a great freaking album. Tommy Bolin.
I think I reviewed it on my channel, but I don't remember because I don't remember what I review.
Okay. And but Mark, did you take this track already, or
No.
okay, take it, Mark, take it.
And I said the same thing. This sounds like a Bad Company song, but it's good. It's a great rhythm track, and it sounds like Paul Rogers could have sang this song on solo or with Bad Company. It's
Right
totally
on.
Bad Company.
Right,
Okay.
right, fucking on, man.
Yeah, we always agree.
Yeah, we always agree.
Yep.
I tell you who could have sung this even better, and that's Mr. John Bon Jovi. Actually, could have
Oh
done it.
yeah, you fucking asshole! Fuck you!
Hey, you're
He
learning
could
how
have
to
put
get him
this.
fired up.
I,
Put this on the Young
hey man,
Guns 2 soundtrack.
if you shoot me in the small toe, it doesn't hurt much. But if you shoot me in the testicle, I'm gonna go off on you like a big fat pink rat.
that fair band probably could have did a good version of this, right? The fair port.
I like them and you don't, so you better please.
So speaking of shooting in the little toaster, now you're Della Reese.
Ah, Della, yeah.
Did that go over your head?
I ain't got no honey. I've got a big fat pork belly in my toe. No, mind.
So did that reference to Della Reese go over y'all's head, or did y'all get that?
No, I know who she is.
I know she is too.
Harlem
No,
Night.
I don't believe you do, Mark, but
No.
I know.
I know who she is.
It's off of Harlem Nights.
she's out there, but no, her old stuff. If you know of her old music, she was slim. She wasn't a big pork belly person that she is now. I'm sorry, I don't mean to give offense to anybody, but I mean, if you know her old material, she was pretty damn good.
Mhm.
I meant that because of her role in Harlem Nights. When
Have you ever heard any of her old stuff from the 50s or 60s?
no, actually.
Oh my God, then I need to turn you on to her work. She was a good jazz blues vocalist. She was a good-looking lady. She was Della Reese. People only know her from Touch from an Angel and this Hi, I'm as big as Santa Claus. But no, she used to be really cool.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
All right.
I'm getting drunker and a little more vocal. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's fine.
Ah!
All right, the next track, "Living on a Prayer." I'm just kidding.
God damn it!
No, the next track, the eighth track on the eighth track on the album, Belgian Tom's Hat Trick. I knew this song before listening to this album. My goodness, I cannot speak. It's either or just flat out stuttering the whole time. But Belgian Tom's Hat Trick. Lee, you take this one first.
Oh, this song sounds too cute and peppy. It's an excuse for the guitarist to do his thing in solo. But this song didn't really impress me. It's just blah, 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 blah. It's like,
Blah, blah, blah,
da,
blah.
da, 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 da.
It's
Okay,
okay.
but hey, shut up. And but it's not that great.
Okay. All right. Now you take it, Mark.
This sounds like a Leonard Skinner jam. It's good, but it's not the best.
That sounded better than what I said, because you
You're,
said it was like Leonard Skinner, but it's not the best.
yep.
You gained my respect there.
Thank you.
can
We always
drop
agree
me
on things.
talk about Bon Jovi for 4 more times, and I will bite my tongue. I will not get angry at you. But 5 times I will get angry. But
Well, Lee, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the Richie Kotzen era of Poison, real quick?
He likes Richie Kotzen.
I would probably rather listen to that before I get a coronavirus test with a swab up my nasal cavity. But that's the only thing that I would want more.
Richie Kotzen's era in Mr. Big was way better than Poison. He made some good albums in Mr. Big.
No, he didn't. But
yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He did vocals with Eric Martin a lot. I love that.
Well, I like Eric Martin, but I don't like Richie Kotzen as much.
Richie Kotzen's 50 on 50 is freaking awesome album. 50 songs.
I am not going to listen to a 50-song fucking thing.
Well, listen to 10 one day.
I'd rather listen to Eric Martin's most lame solo album, which I don't think is possible, because he's good. He's the only really good guy in the group. You don't fucking know.
Then go listen to Eric Martin's version of The Heart Will Go On. See if you like him then.
I might just do that.
Freaking Celine Dion piece of shit.
Hey, I like Eric Martin. You don't even fucking know how good he is.
I love Eric Martin and Mr. Big.
Yeah, okay, then shut up.
But his solo covers albums are horrible.
I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
They're released in Japan.
All I know is that he's damn it.
Go listen to his albums, Mr.
I liked him, but I don't think he'll
go listen to his covers album, Mr. Vocalist 1 and 2.
All right. If you're right and I don't like it, I will admit to it.
Dude, he does Celine Dion.
Well, does he do it as bad as her?
Oh, yeah.
Is this the same guy who likes the shit that you shouldn't like?
Yes.
Okay. Then I don't know yet what the fucking thing, but I will listen to Eric Martin when we're done, because he's good. Yeah,
Richie Kotzen is awesome.
From the same time period that I'm from. And
Winery Dogs, freaking awesome band.
That's not that good.
Him and Mike Portnoy and freaking Billy Sheenan and Billy Sheenan.
He isn't in that band. Eric Martin is not in Winery Dogs.
I didn't say he was. I said Richie Kotzen is.
Is he in Winery Dogs?
Richie Kotzen is in Winery Dogs.
Well, then I'm correct. Eric Martin isn't in Winery Dogs.
Yeah, but Mr. Big, when Richie...
Oh, my fucking God.
When Richie took over for Paul Gilbert, it was just as good.
I don't like Winery Dogs. I think that they're fucking shit.
Listen to Lost in America with Mr. Big.
Well, Mr. Big Fat Toad. I like the song To Be With You. Fuck it.
I like that song too.
Okay, then shut up. Sorry.
But I like A Little Too Loose better off that album.
I don't know that song.
I got a little.
I heard all of their music, but I don't know.
Oklahoma City.
I'm gonna shut up because I don't want my voice to run out.
A Little Too Loose is awesome. You should go check out that album, Devin.
I have no fucking... Listen. I'm getting... Never mind.
Shot to the heart, and you're the...
Shut up!
You're not going to get Lee to finish the podcast if he loses his voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do that to me, man. I mean, don't sink me under the water, please.
Be cool, man.
Yeah, I'll try, my fucking piece of shit.
Okay. All right. Well, Belgian Tom's hat trick. I'm kind of in the similar boat with you guys. I think it's good, but could have been a whole lot better. I think it leaves a lot to be desired as far as an instrumental track. It's like Lee said, it's kind of a little too cute. Like I said, I like it, but it could have been a whole lot better. It's kind of another fillerish track on the album to me, but I like it, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Would
And
you
then,
believe that I forgot that I actually said what I thought about it? And then that when you said what I thought, I obviously must have told you, but I must have been blacked out when I was screaming. So my apologies to all of you fools. I mean, all of you good people.
but and speaking of the winery dogs, I actually yesterday listened to the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, the Blue Murder that you was on, Lee, and
Oh,
they
really? I don't
and
know
they
how that would at all be related, but go on.
well, it actually kind of does. John Sykes was originally going to be in the winery dogs.
Oh, well, to me, that didn't mean that he was, but
John Sykes is supposed to have been releasing a
cool
solo
you
album for the
mention
last
it.
10 years.
And Vinnie Vincent's been trying to release a box set for the past like 20 to 30, 40.
Yeah, but at least John didn't sit there and charge you for it, not send you an empty box.
Yeah.
That's another topic for another day.
Yeah, like if I were to walk
We
by
should just
John
call him
Sykes and
Venetia
say,
Vincent.
"Can you give me your box? Let me handle your box." And he started to run off. And I said, "Hey, listen, I want your box. I want your box." I'm kidding.
Well, when Vinny finally does his sex change, he should just change his name to Venetia.
He could be called Vinny Box.
Vinny Box.
I have a joke,
Vinny
but
V Box.
I kind of don't want to say it, but maybe he should change his name to Joyce DeWitt. I didn't say that.
I love Three's Company. Don't mess with her.
I do too. Don Knotts is the best in that show.
I like the Ropers. The Ropers got screwed on that show.
Oh yeah. What actually happened? What happened? Why did they leave?
Well, it happened. They did a spinoff called The Ropers.
Yeah,
with Jeffrey
I've seen that,
Jeffrey Tambor for one season, and they promised them if the show doesn't do well, or doesn't get canceled, we'll bring you back to Three's Company. So they said, okay, we'll do that. And then the show bombed, and then Don Knotts was doing so well. He said, well, we can't bring you back because Don is killing it. So,
yeah. I know that I've seen the Ropers TV show before. I actually didn't mind it that much, actually, but
well, Jeffrey Tambor is in there. Jeffrey's awesome.
Yeah, and that's another. Like you had all of these freaking TV shows back in the day, like the Dukes of Hazzard had like the Dukes cartoon or whatever it was that had like their cousins that were basically the same characters.
I don't talk about that lost season. It hurts too much.
Well, I would have to say that, believe it or not, if I was totally drunk enough and I was able to go to a Vinnie Vincent show and he did not remember that I did, if I go to the Vinnie Vincent concert, I'm going to sing my tomato, my. If he didn't remember that, I would say, damn it, I thought I was seeing Joyce DeWitt, but you're pretty too.
I think when he actually finally came out of hiding, I think a lot of people were, at least I was like, oh my goodness.
And then he shit on the Decibel Geek, that fucking asshole.
Yeah,
that's messing with Aaron Camaro and Chris Czynszak, man. Fuck, those dudes rule. Fuck you, Vinny.
Did you see my episode where I had my on my YouTube page where I had my hair sticking up, and I said if I go to the Vinnie Vincent birthday bash, I'm going to say my tomato. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but your hair is always sticking up in your videos, dude.
Oh, well, okay, but this was even more. But I did it on purpose because I respect Aaron and I respect Chris, and I wanted to do something to make fun of Vinny out of respect to my friends.
Cool.
And I mean, someone that talented of a songwriter and guitarist, I mean, that self-destructive personality at its finest, I guess is what I could say. But I mean, every time he gets kind of the upper hand, he always screws himself up. But so I
Yeah.
mean, it's like when he came out of hiding, like everybody was giving him a chance. It was like, oh, maybe Vinny's actually changed. Oh, whatever it was, I can't remember now what all happened with the Decibel Geek. But then, I mean, everybody saw right then and there, he's not changed. He's the same freaking person he always has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gene Simmons was right for the first
Oh
time in
yeah.
his life.
Yep, I
Oh,
agree with you.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked. I'll fix to bring all that the biographies up, but we done that the last show. But
All right.
Yeah.
then we get into the ninth track on the album, "Free Flight." This is the only song on the album to have lead vocals out by Bernie Marsden. By far, my actual favorite track on the album. I think this is the best song on the album, in my opinion. He also does some co-lead vocals all the way back on the first side on Lie Down, actually. He does some lead vocals in the middle of the song during the bridge. But Free Flight, I think, is awesome. And he would wind up doing lead vocals again on the next album for a track called Outlaw. And another very good song. But what is your thoughts on this track, Mark?
Okay, where are we at? Oh, right here. All right, love the drums. I think they rule, and this song just flows like a funky rock and roll track, a freaking killer track.
All right. Lee, what's your thoughts?
I like the song in general, but it seems like a filler piece that was done on the spur of the moment. But I don't dislike it. I think that it's an actual good enough song, but it's like the group planned this to be on the last part of the album.
Okay. And then we move to the final track on the album. And I believe, I'm looking here, this has a co-write from everybody in the band. So Coverdale, Moody, Marsden, Murray, Lord, and Dow. Don't Mess With Me. You take this one first, Lee.
Oh, well, it's okay. It's fast and a fun song, but it sounds like filler to me. Like a typical blues song that isn't totally original, but it is okay.
Okay. And did everybody get the last track, Free Flight?
Yep.
Okay. All right. What about you, Mark? What's your thoughts on this track?
It's a killer rocker to end the original release of this record. This jam's fast moving with a groove. I liked it a lot.
Okay. And same here. I think it's a great rocker. The lyrics are pretty cool. It's kind of Coverdale spitting the lyrics out like I like that. And Coverdale's a very great lyricist to me, actually. But Don't Mess With Me, a great track, ends the original album. Before we get into the bonus tracks, I do want to talk about the album covers. There's 2 official album covers, but there's also a third fan-made album cover. Out of the 3, I actually like the fan-made one because they basically put the logo that's like on top of the Slide It In album. They put that logo there, and they basically make it look more styled. They remove all the desert stuff at the bottom of the album, and they make it look a lot better. The regular album cover everybody knows that was the LP and CD cover. I believe in the United States, the original UK sleeve was just basically like a drawing of a snake with an amalgamation of the the classic Whitesnake logo, and then it's just basically a white album cover with a drawing of a snake, and then
okay.
a drawing of whatever. You can see it on Wikipedia if you get on there. But then we have some bonus tracks, and the bonus tracks on this album are pretty much it's the 4-song Snakebite EP. And Snakebite, of course, it was the EP they put out prior to this album. I'll go ahead and say it. I think this whole EP is better than the album. So, but to me, it sounded a lot more like Whitesnake. We'll kind of go through these tracks real quick here. The first track, Come On, classic Whitesnake, another one that I heard off the Live in the Heart of the City album. Classic Whitesnake, great opener. And I just love the track. I think it's a great track. And then, well, Lee, you take this track. Come on.
Oh, it's a good way for Whitesnake to introduce their sound to people. It's a cool, bluesy, and groovy type of tune. And I could imagine Paul Rodgers doing a good version of it.
Okay. What about you, Mark? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I said, this is a dirty rock song here with an opening riff, and it grooves. Man, I miss this type of 70s rock. We lost this in the 80s. Great song. I love it.
Okay. And it's another one that reminds me a lot of Allman Brothers.
Yeah. I could see
then
that.
We'll move to do what?
I could see that.
Oh.
Hear that.
Then we move to the next track, track number 12, and these were bonus tracks on 2006 release. Number 12, Bloody Mary. You take this one first, Lee.
Oh, it's an okay song. It sort of sounds more like a honky-tonk bar band kind of blues, and it's not my favorite on here, but I don't hate it.
Okay. What about you, Mark? What's your thought?
This is some boogie woogie Southern rock feel here. Great song. I love it.
Okay. I feel the same way. I like the track. It's another one of those boogie woogie type numbers. Like I said, Whitesnake was kind of known to having at least one on each of their albums early on. But then we move to the next track, Still Away. This does deviate from the original Snakebite EP because this was actually the last track on the actual EP. So tracks 13 and 14 were swapped in the original track listing. And actually, when they did go back and they actually released Snakebite as a full album, they put these 4 tracks along with 4 tracks from David Coverdale's North Wind solo album.
Wow.
And
okay, wow. It's good to know.
And it's out there. It's on YouTube. You can find it. This version's on YouTube. But Still Away, classic Whitesnake. I love it. I heard how I discovered this song actually was during a Mickey Moody guitar solo. He did like a 10-minute, or it wasn't 10 minutes, like 5 or 6 minutes, but the track itself was like 10 minutes long. A slide guitar solo, and then he brought this riff out and started playing it. And I love this track. I think it goes over great. A perfect track in my opinion, and the best out of the song of the bonus tracks by far. But Lee, what's your thoughts?
It's a pretty good song. I really like the guitar work. The song is mostly an excuse to let the guitar do its thing, but that's okay. It's still a good song. But instead of me thinking of the song in whole, I'm thinking more the main thing that makes the song great is the guitar part.
Okay. Mark, what's your thoughts on this?
Killer slide to start this song. It's bluesy. This rocks. I love it when David gets all bluesy with his voice and he just fits when he sings the blues. Really great song.
Definitely. And then we move to track 14, and I kind of understand why they did switched the tracks up, and these tracks are with Pete Solly or Peter Solly, instead of John Lord. But I understand why, because I mean, usually this particular song does close out at least the main set sometimes, and that's the classic Bobby Blue Bland, if I'm pronouncing that right, because it's a tongue twister. The Bobby Blue Bland classic song, "Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City."
I didn't know that he did that.
Yeah,
I'll have to listen to that, because, man, you're teaching me something.
yeah. It says it was first recorded by Bobby Blue Bland. Yeah,
man,
and
that's cool.
His versions, I think they're pretty well the same, if I remember right. I've heard both versions, but I love this freaking song. I think this freaking song is great. One of the best Whitesnake covers they've ever done, which they have. I don't think they've done very, very many, but I love it. I think it's a freaking great track. Great way to end this album for the reissue. I love it. I can't say much else about it. What about you, Mark? What's your thoughts on this track?
The final song of the EP, cover of a song from the Bobby Blue Band, and this song has a lot of soul. Love it. Great blues and R&B. Great cover. Love it.
Okay. What about you, Lee?
This is a really good song. The guitar tone is groovy, and it sounds like Bad Company, sort of. It's a nice, cool, slow rocker to listen to while sipping your favorite drink and chilling. I really dig it. I think it's a great song.
Okay. And this was another one that actually I heard on the actual live album, Live in the Heart of the City. And I was actually wrong about the track listing. The original EP was actually sequenced way different. It was the side A started out with Bloody Mary, Still Away, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City starting side B, and then Come On ending side B. But
So
when
it started out with Bloody Mary, and then Steal Away, and then Ain't No Love in the Heart of City, and then give me a quick moment. Come On In, or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
That's weird. And
But
so
when they did go back, when they did reissue it as like a full album, it was sequenced Come On, Bloody Mary, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, Still Away, then the 4 tracks from the North Winds album.
But originally you're saying it was Bloody Mary, and then after Bloody Mary was it? What was that? Was Bloody Mary first?
Yeah, Bloody Mary, Still Away, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, and then Come On.
Okay, so Bloody Mary, Ain't No Love, and then okay, Bloody Mary, Ain't No Love, Steal Away, and Come On.
Yeah, Still Away and Ain't No Love they were swapped.
So Bloody Mary, Steal Away, Come On, and Ain't No. I want to actually write this down. But if you can tell me in a text later, I'd like to know, because that's interesting to me.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to remember, but part of my mind is like a boat washing away from remembrance, and I can't quite remember exactly everything. But anyway, okay.
All right. That brings an end to Trouble. It was released in October of 1978. This album does give me a freaking huge fall vibe to it. But what's you guys' final thoughts on Trouble as a whole? Lee, what's your final thoughts?
I actually was really happy with listening to it because I like Whitesnake, but I don't like a lot of some stuff that a lot of other people like. But I knew that I liked them, so I was glad to hear this because this is more my type of music. I really dug it.
All right. And what about you, Mark?
Yeah, I really dug it too. It's different than '87 and album and from Slide It In, but I like it really. It's a really good album, great in their catalog. But I still like the later Whitesnake albums better because I like the shredding.
All right. Well, like I said earlier, was produced by Martin Birch, and
He's a
would be
great producer. I love Martin Birch's production.
definitely he
Martin
would
Birch is
wind,
an awesome producer for Maiden and a
Anyway, I
lot of
didn't mean
people.
to interrupt you, but go
Sorry.
on.
yeah he would wind up he would produce this he would produce every album up to Slide It In. So he would start with this one and he would produce all up to Slide It In. I don't believe he did the Snakebite EP. I could be wrong. Let me look real quick. Yeah, he produced the Snakebite EP as well. So he did the original era albums. So,
Right
and
on.
like I said earlier, this is Whitesnake to me. I love this album. And originally, I didn't even talk about it earlier. I was actually going to have Steven on from the Dunning and Mock Music and Movie Podcast, and we actually did a review of Saints and Sinners, which is a later album by Whitesnake. That was right before it was the album before Slide It In, and me and him had we had different opinions on that album. I liked it. He liked some stuff, and some stuff he thought was just rushed or unfinished, and I understood exactly where he was coming from with it. But I wanted to have him on, but there was scheduling conflicts. He left right before we was going to record, so that didn't happen. Maybe we can have him on in the future. But
Would you say that he represents more my opinion or more your opinion?
oh,
I'm only asking because it's gonna make for an interesting episode.
I think he would probably represent more of your opinion because he critiques a lot of stuff, and like he gets
Okay, I
into it,
like that.
and he'll actually sit there, he analyzes stuff, and he'll like talk about, like, I don't like this guitar solo. It seems like this is recorded like in a freaking airplane or something. It is.
I like that kind of guy. I want to have an episode with him on it as soon as you can do it.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I was gonna have him on today, and he had done took notes and everything, but just scheduling didn't work out. But
I get you.
with that said, do you guys have any recommendations? Albums, movies, whatever. I mean, Mark or Lee, whatever.
I'll say my recommendation would be the first album by Bobby Whitlock. And
Okay.
I think one of the songs is called Where There's a Will, There's a Way. I don't remember for sure if that's one of the songs, but I think it is. It's an orange kind of a cover, and he's sitting there with his guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby Whitlock's first album, Bobby Whitlock, and the song Where There's a Will, There's a Way. That's a good album to listen to.
All right, I have to check that out. I do like Bobby Whitlock from Derek the
Wow,
Dominator.
you know Bobby Whitlock. Fuck, man, you know a lot more than Mark.
That's
Damn
true.
it,
I didn't know who the hell.
you on
I
my
didn't know who the hell that
podcast.
was.
A great singer, great freaking singer.
Man, yeah, man, fuck. I need you to replace Mark on our podcast. but I don't have any kind of fucking way to record it. So we need Mark. Sorry.
Thanks for your support, Lee.
Yeah, man, I would support you as much as I can. As much as a donkey supports the diapers.
Hey, I go along with your albums even if I don't like them, and so do you.
Yeah, even though you don't like them, why don't you like them?
I just don't like a couple.
Yeah, you don't like a couple. Why don't you like a couple?
Because that Fairport group and that
You shut up. That's
Grateful
why
Dead.
I'm angry. Never mind. It's all good.
You didn't even like that Grateful Dead album that much.
Oh, shut up. Don't fake me out. Don't make me admit the shit.
Because Lee, you know what? You give love a bad name.
You fucking asshole. Fuck you.
He'd rather hear Silent Night, so you could be silent.
Shut up.
All right, Mark, you have any recommendations as far as
I got 2 recommendations on records. This new band called Smackbound. Great female singer. She's opera trained, but she sings some good metal, man. The album's called 2020. Check it out. I got it. I love it. I love the song Drive It Like You Stole It. Lee never gave me an opinion on it. He said he just liked the title. They also have a song
What?
called Hey.
What was it again?
Smackbound 2020. It's a female
I'll
singer.
have to listen to it and then give you a real opinion.
Yeah, and then that's probably gonna be my track of the week. And then for tomorrow. And also, since we're doing Whitesnake, their new release called The Rock. It's the first of 3 albums. This one focuses on Whitesnake's The Rock songs. It's the White album. Then the next album will be the Red album, which is the ballads. And the third record will be the Blue album, which focuses on their blues. But these are remixed songs, and the remixes sound really well done. So much crisp, the drums, bass, everything pumps on it. Really good. And I'm done.
all right, and as for my recommendation, and you was talking about going back real quick to the White album, Blue album, Red album, whatever it was.
Whitesnake.
Yeah, Whitesnake. I'm looking forward to those. I've been loving a lot of the remixes that he's done because, I mean, he takes them and he gives new life to a lot of those older songs. And I hope he does some box sets and stuff like that and does some similar stuff with some stuff from this era. I think that would be a very great. But
I think they started with Slide It In and went up from there.
I think the first one he did the 87 for its 30th anniversary. Then he did Slip of the Tongue. He did 87 Slip of the Tongue. No, 87 Slide It In, Slip of the Tongue. And then I think in between that, he did a lot. He did an unplugged deal. And had a bunch of acoustic stuff. And then he's talked about, and speaking of my recommendation this week, Coverdale Page, 1993.
Great album.
Great freaking
I heard it. I didn't think it was great, but I liked some stuff from it.
Stop shaking my tree, Lee.
There's some shit that I didn't like, and I didn't like shaking my tree. You're fucking. Never mind. I'm not gonna swear.
Do you keep the
I'm
faith?
trying to be a little bit nice.
Do you keep the faith, Lee?
You fucking asshole! Shut up.
But Coverdale Page, Pride and Joy, Take Me for a Little While, Shake My Tree.
Shake My Tree isn't now that good.
Don't Leave Me This Way. Absolution Blues is freaking great. Over Now.
I just know that I don't like some of it.
To me,
I'm gonna be blah blah. I'm sorry. Anyway,
and
go on. I won't interrupt you, even though you're wrong, but I won't interrupt you. Go on.
okay. And I mean, it come out at a time when grunge and stuff, that was the big deal. So it did not do that well commercially. They had a tour plan, and basically the album pretty much came and went pretty quick. And from what I understand, it did receive a lot of attention, and kind of a lot of people look at it and say that's the reason Robert Plant and Jimmy Page even reunited in the 90s is because of this album. But I love it. I think Coverdale Page is an awesome album, fantastic album.
Mm.
Then that's all I've got. So
Yeah, that's all you got. You got that. I'm sorry. It's okay. I like some of it. I don't like all of it.
okay. Hey, I mean that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Sorry, I'm sound like a shitty lizard doing red tea on the sidewalk, and I apologize.
I know the next album I'm picking is The Firm now.
Oh, whoa! Which one?
The first one.
That's cool.
Nice.
Hey man, I saw them live. I saw them live. I'm fucking down, man.
Cool.
You're fucking right on. You're the fucking right on, man.
What about In Through the Outdoor?
Oh God. I do not want to be on any fucking review that does that album. I will be Lee goes out the puke door and the puke goes back in his mouth because it hates the songs.
Okay. I'm at this point I'm just friggin' trolling now, but
hey man, I'm a fucking troll. You're a fucking troll. It's all good.
It's time for lunch.
You're like the wiggy on Lee, and I'm it's fun. You at least know my sense of half humor.
All right then.
all right. Well, do you guys have any closing thoughts?
No, I'm hungry. I want to go eat lunch.
I got my stuff that I got at the Italian deli, so I'm going to eat that when I'm done. That's my closing thoughts.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm fixed to go eat too. I'm hungry, but I guess that's been another episode of the Danger Zone podcast. You can find you can find us on YouTube. Go to find the Freeform Rock podcast. It's on pretty much everything, right?
It's on the floor. It's on the sidewalk. You can look at it everywhere.
Oh my goodness. That was legitimately funny to me.
I'm just out of the fuck sorts.
But,
hi, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye. See y'all next time.
Okay, take care, man.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.